Hey gamers, welcome to another video in my channel. And today, as you can see from the title, I'm going to talk about 10 games from my beloved NES that have aged very well. Many of the 8-bit and 16-bit games have aged very well, and we can still play them today and have the same fun we had when they were released. Unlike the 5th generation of consoles, especially the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn games, the early 3D games have horrible graphics and very bad controls. Today I couldn't play games with tank controls, unlike 2D games where the gameplay was and still is magnificent. I bought the NES Mini, the Super NES Mini, the Mega Drive Mini, the TurboGrafx Mini, even the Commodore Amiga and the Spectrum Mini, and I play these consoles every month. I also have a PlayStation 1 Mini, but I only have it to play some 2D games, and very few in 3D, because as I wrote before, it's a console that aged poorly. I'm saying this without taking away all the credit that this console have. It was a great console and deserved all the sales and success. I also have videos in my channel talking about the PlayStation 1 and the Sega Saturn, but today is the NES day to shine. So I've chosen 10 games that I still play very often. And we'll start with the most obvious one, the one that many consider the best game on the console, and for many, even the best 2D Mario game ever made. This one you are seeing right now, Super Mario Bros. 3. When Super Mario Bros. 3 was released by Nintendo, it was revolutionary, with the introduction of the world map, inventory system, and iconic new transformations. But as I said, what defines this classic was the world map. Unlike previous games that the game features an interactive map for each of the 8 worlds, this time the map allows us to choose alternative paths, visiting mini-games, houses, and extra challenge. The game also have introduced several transformations that grant unique abilities. Super Leaf, that gives Mario Raccoon ears and a tail, Tanuki Suit, that allow us to strike enemies and float, the Frog Suit, that improve mobility and jump underwater, as well as making the swim easier, the Hammer Suit, that allow us to throw powerful hammers to defeat enemies. These different suits gave Mario different gameplay. The level design is also great, and it have many secrets. And we can pick up this game today, yes today, and still have the same fun that we had when it was released almost 40 years ago. It is a simple game with a simple and fun gameplay that never gets old. Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 is a classic action platform game and possibly my favorite NES game. Acclaimed for his soundtrack and level design, the title refined the gameplay of the previous game and established the formula that became standard in this famous series. We have the freedom to choose between 8 Robo Masters to face first, and upon defeating a boss, Mega Man acquires the robot's specific weapon. Each boss has a weakness to another weapon, creating a rock paper scissors mechanic. The difficulty is not as hard as the first game, and one of the reasons is because we can pick an energy soup tank. This mechanic was the first introduced in this game, allowing to store extra energy and energy tanks to recharge Mega Man Life's bar in mid-battle. After defeating the initial 8 robots, we advance to a series of stages until we fight the final confrontation against Dr. Willy. Mighty Final Fight. Mighty Final Fight, it adapts the arcade classic into a compact format, offering super deformed style graphics, large heads and small bodies, a level system and unique moves for the 3 heroes, Cody, Guy and Mike Hager. In this version, as we defeat criminals, we gain experience points, leveling up, increase our vitality and attack power, as well as unlocking additional special moves. Personally, I love the cartoonish graphics and the game have a lot of humor. The animations are great and our characters and the enemies design are considered a masterclass in the optimization of the NES hardware. This game isn't in my opinion, the best NES game just for one reason. And the reason is we can't play in co-op. Bionic Command. Bionic Command is famous for revolutionizing the platform genre by not allowing jumping. Instead of jumping, our character have a bionic arm that you can use as a grappling hook to grab the platforms and swing. The grappling hook can be fired in many directions. The levels were designed with a challenging vertical layout instead of the classic linear left to right progression. We can choose our destination in the top-down screen map. In certain areas, it's crucial to use the radio to intercept the enemy's communications and discover clues to unlock new areas. Just like a RPG-style progression, by defeating enemies or completed levels, we earn updates, new weapons, armor, and expanded health bars. Alternative political storylines in Japan, the game was called Hitler Resurrection, but in the Western version for the NES, the villains were renamed Master D, due to Nintendo's censorship. This is undoubted one of the best campaign games for the Nintendo 8-bit console, although the series continued on other platforms. In 2008, a remake, Bionic Command Rearmed, was released for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Double Dragon 2. Double Dragon 2 The Revenge for the NES is a classic side-scrolling beat-'em-up game released by Tecmo in '89. It stands out for correcting the biggest flaw of the original game in the NES by introducing a cooperative mode for two players simultaneous. That was been one of the strong points of the series since the first game in the arcades. We also have new combat system. The A button attacks to the right and the B button attacks to the left. Pressing the attack button on the opposite side to which the player is facing performs a kick instead of a punch. Special moves include some iconic moves from the series, such as the flying kick and the devastating hurricane kick. The difficulty was also adjusted, allow us to choose between three difficulty levels: Warrior, Master and Supreme Master, with the true ending only unlocked in the hardest mode. We can also disarm the enemies and pick up or throw their weapons, such as bats, knives and dynamite. This game have many strong improvements over the first one, and it was one of my greatest joys to see that was included in the Double Dragon collection. Batman. Batman was released by Sunstop and is acclaimed as one of the best platform and action games on the console. It stands out for its bold design and fluid mechanism, distinguished itself the usual film's adaptations at the time. It have a unique movement mechanisms. Batman possesses impressive agility. He can, for example, wall jump to reach high platforms, making the gameplay very dynamic. In addition to quick and deadly punches, Batman can use three unique secondary weapons that consume energy: the Batarang, the Bat Disc and the Spark Bomb. We fight through 5 challenging levels in Gotham City, and at the end of each level we have a typical boss fight, being the last one the Joker. We can easily see that the graphics are heavily inspired by Tim Burton's '89 film, that personally it's still my favorite Batman movie, along with Batman Returns. It have a dark and detailed involvement, cinematic cutscenes between levels, and a high-quality 8-bit soundtrack that maximize the Dark Knight atmosphere. Jackie Chan Action Kung Fu is an action platform game by Woodstock. It is legendary for being one of the rare games based on the actor himself and not on the specific movie. By the way, Jackie is by far my favorite actor. We obviously control Jackie in the epic quest to save his twin sister. We play as an action and platform game with a strong emphasis on Kung Fu. We can deliver quick punch and kicks, but also fire energy blast even a Kamehameha, just like Goku in Dragon Ball. By spinning small orbs that we collect from enemies, we gain abilities, for example, a powerful air kick. We can also find bowls of rice along the way to restore our health bar. The graphics are very detailed, and we fight in the forest, ice mountains, caves, volcanoes, and usually in this type of games, the levels end with a boss fight. We also have a bonus stage that I love. I admit, I started playing this game because I love Jackie, but this game surprised me with its charm, excellent gameplay, good bosses, and some reference to Dragon Ball. Jackie even fly on the cloud, just like Goku. Although is not one of the most well-known NES game, is undoubted in my top 5 games for the console, or maybe even top 3. Blaster Master. Blaster Master is an action platform game released for the NES by Sandstorm in '88. It becomes known for mixing different gameplay styles, something uncommon at the time. We play this game in the side-scrolling stage driving a tank named Sophia, and in the top-down view where we control Jason on foot. The tank can jump and shoot, gain upgrades to the game, climb walls, fly for short periods of time to access new areas of the map. Very similar to Metroid, that we must look for updates to reach new areas that were unblocked in the beginning of the game. We play in 8 main areas, all of them with secret paths and gigantic bosses. This game is known for the very high difficulty. It doesn't have a save system or password. When we lose all the lives, it's game over, and we must start from the beginning. So it's very important to memorize the paths and the locations of the updates. It also has a great soundtrack, and I love it so much that I also bought the remake for the Nintendo Switch. Arkanoid, released by Taito, is an adaptation of the classic block-breaking arcade game. We control a spaceship that bounces a ball and destroys walls of the blocks, preventing the ball from falling to the bottom of the screen. This game stood out for being marked with a unique rotary control, which allows for more precise and faster movement, just like it was in the arcades. Destroying specific blocks released capsules with letters that offering special abilities, such as L, lasers that we can shoot against the blocks, C for catch, temporarily grab the ball, B for break, opens a direct passage to the next level, E to expand, increase the size of the spaceship, M multi-ball, splits the ball into 3, D duplicate, increase the speed of the ball, among other power-ups. We must beat 32 levels and then fight against the last boss named Do or Do. I don't know very well. I never knew how it was pronounced. The first time I played this game was in my beloved Spectrum, and only later in the NES. It's not a very well known type of game these days, but the originality, fun, and the challenge that it presents make it worth and still as fun as it was back in the 80s. Bubble Bobble. Bubble Bobble for the NES is a classic platform and action game released by Taito in '87. We control 2 lovely and cute twin dragons, Boob and Bob. Instead of jumping on the enemies like Mario or Sonic, we capture opponents by shooting bubbles. Then simply pop the bubbles to defeat them and transform them into candies and bonus that give us extra points. We can play as a single player or co-op, but I strongly recommend playing in co-op because it is much more fun, because teamwork is essential to overcome the most difficulty levels. The game includes a progression of 100 fixed screens, each more complex and with new enemies. Along the way, we catch many candies, magic, shoes that give us extra speed, faster bubbles, and many more power-ups, allowing to reach the final boss in the level 100. This Bubble Bubble is, in my opinion, one of the best arcade games ever made. The gameplay is great, some levels we need to think of the strategy to beat, and the fun is never ending. It is my favorite game in this list, especially the arcade and the Commodore Amiga version. And I'm gonna be honest, if you never play it, you are going to hell. So that's it, gamers. Those are 10 games that, in my opinion, age very well in our beloved NES. As always, I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.